He was on this side of the house, and he was absolute a machine, literally looking for me to chop me up. But 2 weeks before I actually came to Jamaica, I told you the different things that were happening. But when I was about to leave to the airport, here this brother actually took me, and he said to me, "Sir, if things don't work out for you in Jamaica, remember you have a father." Now, if I never saw him for the rest of my life, that was enough to carry me through. But when I came to Jamaica, the kind of hatred that was in my heart for this man, and my wife is the only person who can tell you how I hate that man. But that's not. When I met my wife, she had 2 boys. Okay? They were 11 months and 3 years. And I told myself, if I love this woman, I have to love these boys also. And I raised them as my own. But when they reached teenagers, and I wanted to correct them, what came out of their mouth? Not like father. And I had that to deal with. For a number of years, I can tell you, I cried for those 2 boys more than I cried for my own 2 biological daughters. Because what I had to go through with them. And it was rough. It was tough. It was hard to them. One of them, Eric came out of the house about 3 times. Now I'm telling you, the 3rd time he went to his grandmother, and his grandmother was still crying and bawling. Why? Because there is no place like home. And some of you, I hope that you don't have to learn that the hard way. He came back home, we took him in. He decided to break all the rules that get in the house. We never asked him to leave. He ended up leaving. One person told the people they couldn't find him. Fainted in his house, can't find no food to eat, can't pay no rent. Alright? And so he had it hard, rough, and tough. And all of that we were there for him. Come up on a Sunday, got a good meal, bring his clothes to wash, and those different things. Alright? And right now he's just being enrolled to go into the Jamaican Defense Force. The first one is actually in the US Air Force right now. Alright? But listen, when they turn teenagers, all of a sudden a whole world opened up to me between my brothers and I when we were teenagers and my father. And I look at life and I saw life in a whole different perspective. And I say, you know what, Andrew? Your father was a good man. He said, provide for you to go to school. He said, take it to the beach. He said, climb up on his shoulder, climb off, or he would rub up on his shoulder. And all of a sudden I started seeing the good about my father. And I promised myself one day I'd have to tell my father I love him. That was like the highest mountain to climb. I called him one day and I said, Dad, we love you. I love you, still kind of difficult. But I mustered up the strength about a month after. And I said, Dad, I want to tell you now. I want you to know that I appreciate you for all that you have done for me from a child until now. And I want to know that I love you. The phone went silent. And all of a sudden I heard, I love you too, sir. So you can imagine how difficult it was for him also. And since that, my father and I have a good thing going. Real, good, solid relationship, even though we are far apart. I'm saying that probably somebody has something to work with your father or your mother. Alright? Take that into consideration. My father was really one who should have humbled himself. Okay, because I knew better. At that time I was serving God. Alright? And so I knew better and I did better. Now, that is a little synopsis of my life. How I ended up coming to Jamaica, I started playing drums in Trinidad. On a Saturday, we used to go as young persons and clean the church for Sunday. Alright? That's what I used to do. Clean the toilet, your sweep, your cupboard, and I used to do those different stuff. And God saw my faithfulness. And after that, we used to go and try to do things on the instrument. And for me, it was the drums. And I kept on playing, kept on practicing, until someone from Jamaica came and saw me playing in Trinidad. And he decided to invite me to Jamaica. And as a result of that, what were my dreams? One was to travel the world and one was to see. Guess how many countries I've been to? Make a one guess. Alright, not so much, alright, but over 20 countries of the world. Alright, playing drums, and that scripture literally comes to the pass. A man did makes room for him and brings him before great men. And I've played before thousands, I mean all across the globe. I have played drums. Okay? You see a man who is diligent in what he does, he will not stand before obscure men. Alright? In other words, he will stand before great men. if you are diligent in what you are doing. So, Pastor Omar already spoke to all of you about your work, your school work, and being disciplined, and thinking right, and doing what is right. If you put all those things into practice, I guarantee you that your life will never be the same again. When I came to Jamaica now, it was a whole different world to get used to. Of course, like Pastor Omar, I came to Jamaica with nothing apart from 2 suitcases. I had the time to tell you about my first day in Jamaica. Alright? Somebody took me to the bus park and all that. I love time to tell you about that. Really serious experience. Okay? Another experience I had in Jamaica is that every time people got back in Jamaica, I say, let's say these words. And I never understood these words. And so when people crowd, I was asking person, what does this mean? What does? I mean, that people were laughing at me. Hands up because I was first in Jamaica, but I wasn't an FC. When I was in Jamaica, I was the first one day, preaching. I said, wherever you are Rasta, wherever you are Broadhead, wherever you are, you know, it's Bobo J. But I never used the word Bobo. It just nothing, and everyone was like, shocked. But listen, it was a journey for me in Jamaica. I came here with nothing. I have no family apart from those who are our brothers and bandwidth. I ended up going to college. Alright, I achieved my bachelor's degree. Okay, and today I am who I am only because of God and only because of being obedient to God. And I'm telling you, young people, I started serving God when I was 15 years. And this is the last thing I'm going to tell you about. I had a girlfriend. It was a twin, Pierre and Donna, and Andrea and I all. Alright, so 2 brothers over 2 sisters. And it was a carnival Friday evening. Now you understand carnival and what it does. Okay? Now, when it's carnival time in Trinidad, 9 months after or 10 months after carnival, you have the highest pregnancy rate and you also have the highest level of STI. We don't already tell you those stuff. And because people are having sex anywhere. Alright? Anywhere you can think about. It's like it becomes dog. Alright, an animal. But even dogs have their seasons, right? Okay, but we as human beings, we have no control. At age 50, I wanted to have a child.
Are you ready?
No, this is a whole Nigeria. When I was able to the way I want to use, I can't use it here, but I good beating. Alright, I good beating. But guess what? We were at a dance, or at a party, and I couldn't, it really wasn't going good, we had no vibe. So we decided to move from there and go and look for the girls there. And while we were there, they lived in a house with keys. And they were like glass windows, glass doors, so you really can't call out because everybody would come out. So we got some stone and we threw against the window. And so the girls would come around the back. So cheeky you can be as young people. And some of your parents don't know about this stuff. And some of my parents don't even know about this thing. And so the girls would come around the back. And while we were there, the mother wasn't home. So guess what? The atmosphere and everything was right. My brother and Brother went one direction and me and Dia decided to stay in the house. Dia and we started kissing. But before I could have gone any further, I got a voice from nowhere. Came to me and said, Andrew, your mother and father is not seeing the things that she's doing is wrong. Your mother and father is not seeing the things that you are doing is wrong. But there's somebody above watching you. You see when I heard that voice? I got cold. Really, really cold. Well, you know, as a man, if you're a girl making love and whatever, you have an erection, right? I'm talking to you guys that are young men, you have an erection. Alright? And so everything comes into one cold. Now, as a male or as a man, if you are about to have sex with a cold and you can't have it, what happens? There's something you get. There's a particular name for it. Alright. In other words, the testicle becomes very tender, very soft. Okay? But for me, that night was like someone took a whole bucket of water and dashed it on me. It was around carnival time, my hair was braided, and because I was a crazy youth, my hair was braided, and so the girl, the end came and she was with me. She didn't die in Trinidad, we would say he got Samantha, or he was born. In Jamaica, we say get born. Alright, when a girl leaves one guy and goes to another guy, the guy gets? But in Trinidad, you get what? Tabanka or yet on. It's the same thing. And that promised to kill me that time about. The promise to kill me. Alright? But somehow, God protected me. I was in 2 fights on Calvary Day. And person tried to run knife into me. Okay? And it just never happened. I just was able to escape. 2 weeks after Carnival, I went to church. A church meeting rather. Okay? And then an altar call was made. Alright? The new business called altar call. I lift my hand, give my life to God. Today I'm 43. This coming month will be something like 28 or 29 years serving God. And I want to show you whatever it is that you want to see out of all of this, that God has the power to take you from nothing and really make you into something. And into something, as I mentioned to you, just like me having house, land, car, money. Those things will come. But I guarantee you, as a young person, if you are serving God, you will have the best peace, the best satisfaction that you can ever have in your entire life. I don't care what other persons are saying to you out there. Right? We are individuals who have experienced the love of God and it has changed our lives. And most of you in Jamaica have gone to church one way or the other. So you know what I am saying. Alright? Don't think of people outside in the world trying to deter you. I know this is a very sensitive time for you at this point in your life. You are discovering your identity. You are trying to discover who you are and all those different things. Right? If I never knew God, I never knew what that could have been. Because in Trinidad, homosexual is very big, homosexuality. In Jamaica, if you find out somebody's homosexual, you understand, you know what you're going to do to them. In Trinidad, they can come out from the street, they look like women and they don't even know. I know a story of one guy who danced with a homosexual all night, a man, and he never knew. Until he hit his bathroom and came back and saw people beating him up. Well, he said, well, him up, so you see. Right? And listen, I had the homosexual also around my life. So I could have gotten the wrong influence and totally be on the wrong path today. But you see what the power of God is able to do, guys? Right? Protect you from harm, protect you from danger, and protect you from stress. There was a young lady when I came to say, I'm here. You know, that was very much attractive to me. I was already married, okay? And I knew my ground. I never went further. And around 2 weeks after, the girl had AIDS and she's dead now. If I never had discipline, and if I never lived in a particular way, you wouldn't see me today, guys. But I'm here today simply because of God and obeying God. Alright? I don't know how much time I spent here, but I guess my time is basically up. Alright? I'm sorry? My mother and my father are still in Trinidad. Alright? What? Well, they still live in the same house. Let me put it that way, but they still have separate rooms. My mom, however, has taken her life to the Lord, alright, and they're trying to work through the situation, trying to work on my father. So that's an extra thing that somebody can pray for. Pray for my dad. God will save it. Right? He belongs to a religion called Spiritual Baptist, which is a whole different ballgame. Yes, sir. Very good question. The answer is yes. I had a mission group here in Jamaica, and they found out that my group of my dreams were to took me up to Chicago. It snowed before I got there. When I reached, it stopped, and when I stepped out on the plane, it came back down. But I went to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, where it really snowed, and I actually felt the place. That's another thing, guys. Your dreams that God has placed within you, He can help you to bring them to pass. Alright, that's about it. Time is tight, guys. Listen. Make something out of your life, because you have only one chance to do it. Okay? God bless you.
Father, in the name of Jesus, I want to thank you. Oh, yes. Okay. Alright. You can do it. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, I want to thank you. Big married man, I walk with like this. She said, I must go for the child. 6% outside the community. 6 them are selfie under the theater. Live like a place of creative conduct in an excuse that plays like native. It's about to philosophy, it's about to Buddha, philosophy. Alright, come again. 1, 2, 3. Heavenly Father. Alright, that's what was the name, sir? Huh? Yes, wow. No more God. No God is a 30. Mobile is a watch, you know. Mobile is nothing special. Mobile is just a watch.
I already know I'm mobile.
Alright? Alright. Teamwork and dreamwork. Together and enhance, come on. So, if you want to do it, yeah, man, here we go. Amen? Here we go. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, how about that promise that we walk in the being married man, I walk through like this. Just as much as up on me, people are best, I will start to take them ourselves to the enemy. Leave it like a prayer, so here, and down, and hold up to it. Go to the gospel, the whole because in our man, would have come from Jesus Christ and the Lord. And he got to tell it, Adam and Eve, that is not God. RFC, that is not God. Adam and go out. Alright. Speak right, live right. Say that again. Speak right, live right. Again. Speak right, live right. One more time. We can do that this year and see what results will be. How many persons say, you know what, I'm going to try and see if I do that in my life a little bit. Put up your hand. You're going to try. Alright, teachers, you see that teacher? All the teachers looking up. Because anytime you say, I'm going to speak right, so remember you committed that you're going to speak right, you want to take a picture. Yeah, make sure they get a picture. Come on, brother. Don't speak up the hand so you can get a picture. And so, when you're not doing this, you remember that you said that you speak from the center. You say, yes, miss, I know, I will never speak right. Amen? Amen? When I'm not coming and you take from the desert, Lord, you haven't just say, oh, it's just the shoes. And then take out the toothbrush and brush it off. Amen? When man say, it's going to go, we can say, well, it's done. You know what I'm going to say? Out to that by a school, you're going to try to say, yeah, man, because we can't eat up time to take from the side. Amen, because together, enhance this. Amen. So let me just pray for you right now. Let me Father thank you for these young men. Potential. Alright? Simple. Alright. So first instruction 1. Everybody close your eyes. Alright? No questions. One side that is no questions. Close your eyes. Only to pull the paper in half. Don't open your eye, the open eye will get disqualified. Pull the paper in half. Pull it in half again. Eyes closed. Don't look at anyone in this paper. Tear off the top right hand corner. Top right hand corner. This video money most of you can video your eyes. Top right hand corner, no passing, just stay on the top right hand corner. No look at it. Here comes down there. No question, just stay on the top. Alright, fold it again. One more time, fold it. Fold it again. Alright, tear off the top right hand corner. Alright, when you finish, you just put them up on the paper. Once you finish. Some people don't finish it when it's full, I can't hear it. Alright, open your eyes now. And when you open the paper, you have on way to find somebody who has the same design that you have on your paper. Just look around and show your paper and pick anybody in the room or something that you are. Just find somebody, don't want to tear anything out because some people keep up here, I don't know how that happened. I know that, but that's all right. No, even Pt.2 pieces that disqualified. Not going to support Pt.2 in the field now. Anybody find someone in the same design here? Huh? You know what I'm saying? Alright. Alright, there's a purpose for this. That's what the thing of my experience here now.
Listen.
Alright. I want to tell you one line to you. Right? Every person got the same instruction, right? So if you have the same size paper, the same instruction, so how come almost every person have a different end result? I'll just give you some answers. All different, think different. What a big word is over there, somebody's a big word. Unique. We all differently. Alright? Even though all of us, good answer, unique, what's the name? Andrew said that all of us interpret things differently. And Andrew is not speaking, that's the thing. All of us in here are unique. All of us in here are different. You know that every person in here have a different fingerprint. You know what I mean? You are special. And anybody you try to be like, you'll just be a bad face. Funny, you cannot be better at Usain Bolt than Usain Bolt. Nobody can do Usain Bolt better than Usain Bolt. You are unique. You are special. I know sometimes that you don't like to hear that you're special, but God is special and unique. So here's the way for me. I'm going to allow this one because we're not see it. But I want, because what is the theme for today? Togetherness enhances a man. But even though all of us are unique, we think differently, we interpret things differently, all of us, all of us can come together and be effective and efficient together. Over there, over yonder. The bigger ones have to hear the smaller ones. You have to hear it. The bigger ones have to speak to the nicely and say, keep that because you have to hear. So here's the thing. In this room, because somebody going to see a man and she come to school and it's quiet, don't speak a lot, you're going to judge him. The next person will come and is active and everything and you say, yeah, I'm the boss and you know this and stuff, but persons are unique and different, so you can't treat everybody the same way. You know why? I may shout at you on the football field. We see that I am on. But the next person, if I shout at this man, he starts ball and see, some person are like that now. They feel embarrassed. There are some persons, if you don't speak to them loudly, they don't go. Because we're all unique. We're all different. And so what is going to have men in the school is to appreciate the differences in each other and then come together and work as one. So tell the person beside you, teamwork. You know, I don't know where we got that stuff up. I have the formula. You don't have the most talented players, you know. Guess what? Teamwork, make the dream work. Togetherness enhances a man. And if you're together on one team, Believe me, and all you play to support each other, you will win it. You believe that I know that only person who believes that before they leave the school, I know can win the customer. Seriously, I believe it. I believe it. If you look at can try to step up and can win. Amen? We got customer. Amen? Alright, I'm going to ask Brother Desmond to come and he's going to a little bit about his right and faith.
Thank you, Pastor. Family is well known basically. When I grew up, I had a fairly nice childhood. Well known, well taken care of, known in the community and things. People say you're well loved and whatnot. Went to school, did well at the young age in primary school and things. As Andre John said, at the time we didn't have GSAT, we had common entrance exam. I did well, I passed for Campbell High, so I had to move to Kingston. That wasn't easy because when I got to Kingston, at that time people used to trouble and say a country boy and thing and get out of jail and whatnot. So entering into my teen years, it was quite challenging because you want to fit in. You want to feel accepted, there was peer pressure, and pretty sure some of you guys probably struggling with that in different ways to where you want to make sure that your friends like you are, you're seen as the man or you're just accepted. I mean, everybody wants to be a part of some group. So that was challenging and thing, and going through the different stages. I had to leave my parents, my mom and my dad, back here in Seattle, so I only had an opportunity to go back like every other week or every month and spend the weekend. I was going back to Kingston and not being in my home environment it was difficult at times. Sometimes I'd be at school and I'd be by myself and cry and thing, you know. Didn't even let anybody know because they don't want anybody to know you speak yourself and whatever. Nah. While going to school, the first place I lived was off Waltham Park Road. That's in Western Kingston. That's what people have called bad place. And I lived on a road called St. Joseph Road. They call it People's Road off Waltham Park. It's never pretty. So at times when I wanted to go to school, I couldn't because shots were being fired until I had to stay in. At the time I was like 11 going on 12. I didn't really understand much of it, but it was something like out of this world to me. And at that time, when you used to go to school, and you want to like take a bus or whatnot, it would be an issue because the drivers are not carrying a school out, because they not pay the amount of money where big people are paying things. So, you know what I mean? It did rough, really rough, and it was rough for somebody coming from Pt.2. You know what I mean? Then when I got to like second form, my mom and my dad, just like most, even what Andre John shared, they didn't have what they call like a loving relationship, and they made it clear to us like the only reason why they were together because they had the kids. They were like, my older brother was with a different father, and my younger brother and myself who lived with them at the time. They would argue all the time, they'd fight all the time. We never saw people being, they weren't emotionally connected, they weren't loving, affectionate and things. So my mom wanted to leave, and she made that clear. And in 1991, she got a visa and she got an opportunity to leave. And I think probably in her mind, make a better way for us and to provide for us better, and we could go to school and things. And people probably might be people in here who your parents are abroad and things so. Anybody? I know, miss them and things, don't they? Sometimes I wish they were here, no? Yeah, I went through that too. She left when I was in second form. And I can remember the day vividly where she came to school, she came up to tell me goodbye, but I was at school. I think she was living like the weekend. And at the time I was living with my sister in Kingston. So what happened is like, I could almost do anything I wanted to do. When I got to school, sometimes I would get home until like 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? And she could only talk to me like a sister. So it's like, that day, I didn't even know that she came, and when I got home, she had just left. And I ran to go back to the bus stop, and she wasn't there. And I didn't see her again until like, and I'll get to that. And so that kind of played on me a little bit and things. She left. So now my dad alone was home and I was there with my sister. Didn't have great examples and things. My dad now, he was an alcoholic. He drinks, he smokes, he gambles. Ladies man. One of my older brother and my older sister are by two sisters. He had children by two sisters. You know what I mean? So that was an example that I had. You know what I mean? And unlike Andre, I wanted to be like my dad. So when I would leave and go home to him, I still didn't have a lot of rules and boundaries, because as I said before, even when I was young, I used to go out and have to bring him home from the bar and things, and to come home daddy and things. I see all the family stuff and all them thing and passing out and the talking, and all them kind of thing. And the